Every day, people buy and sell real estate along the Crystal Coast. Should you? Let me give you a few numbers to think about. Today is May 9th, 2024, and this quick video is all about what's happening in the local real estate markets in Emerald Isle and other beachfront and soundfront towns and communities in Carteret and Onslow counties. By now, if you've watched one or more of my videos, you know that I focused on three numbers: average days on the market, list of sold ratios, and price trends. And now let's look at the numbers. The first number is average days on the market, or DOM. This number sets expectations for both the seller and the buyer. It helps justify the price I recommend to my clients when they list and when they make an offer. Average DOM is especially important in a dynamic market like the one we are experiencing here in Carteret and Onslow counties. Since my in depth analysis covers 10 towns and communities spanning over 100 miles on the Crystal Coast, I divide my real estate market into two broad segments: the barrier island called Bogue Banks, and the mainland known as the Crystal Coast. On Bogue Banks, I further carve up the island into four segments: the town of Emerald Isle, the combined communities of Indian Beach and Salter Path, and the towns of Pine Knoll Shores and Atlantic Beach. Of these four towns and communities, only Pine Knoll Shores has a less than triple digit average DOM, meaning that half the homes listed in Pine Knoll Shores were on the market less than 97 days, and half sold in more than 97 days. This stat has remained constant throughout 2024. Elsewhere on the island, the average DOM greatly exceeds 100 days. In the combined Indian Beach and Salter Path communities, the average DOM of 309 is the highest on the island, and that is down from an average DOM of 1 year just a month ago. On the mainland, I divide the Crystal Coast into six segments. Four are in Carteret County, the towns of Morehead City, Beaufort, Newport, and the combined communities of Cedar Point and Cape Carteret, and two are in neighboring Onslow County, the towns of Swansboro and Jacksonville. Here, the average DOM is above 100 for every town and community in Carteret County, and significantly below 100 in both towns in Onslow County. When making offers, I recommend buyers consider how an individual home's DOM compares to the average DOM in that town or community. Depending on that comparison, maybe the buyer offers more or maybe less. Either way, knowing the average DOM gives buyers a basis for the amount that they offer. That can save some money either in the offer or in the negotiations. The second number is the list to sold ratio, or sales percentage. This is another number that is a big deal. Previously, this number was at 95% or higher across the board in every town and community on Bogue Banks and along the Crystal Coast. That is no longer the case this month. On Bogue Banks, the list to sold percentage is in the 80th percentile in both Emerald Isle and Pine Knoll Shores. On the mainland, the list to sale ratio is at or below 95% in all six communities I follow. That is a significant change from earlier this year. Sales percentages help set expectations for sellers on what kinds of offers they may receive, and sales percentages can justify what kind of offer buyers may make. When the list to sold ratio is below 95% in all but two towns and communities, this may signal the beginning of a buyer's market. If you don't see a town or community you are looking at, stay with me until the end of this video and learn how I can analyze it for you. It's all free with no strings attached. The third number is the price trend, which is useful in tracking long-term market trends and getting answers to questions like, are prices dropping or is the market in a bubble? The numbers for May 2024 suggest that the market is in transition. On both banks, prices are decreasing everywhere but in Atlantic Beach. On the Crystal Coast, half the towns are experiencing price increases and half are seeing prices decrease. 1 month does not make a trend, but April's numbers were similar, suggesting a slight cooling in demand, and this is reflected in the diminished list to sold ratios I spoke about in half the communities on both banks. And on the mainland, a similar trend emerged, with half the towns I follow showing positive price trends and 3 showing neutral or negative price trends. All in all, the spring real estate market on both banks and the Crystal Coast has the makings of a strong buyer's market, and we haven't seen one of these since before the COVID pandemic. Put your email in the comments below and I'll send you a PDF of this chart. If you don't see a town in my listing that you are interested in, put your email and that town in the comments below and I'll analyze it for free. Have a house to sell? I use 50 properties to come up with my evaluation, not the 3 like most agents, when I recommend a price to sell your home. I can only do 5 of these a week, so put your email and your request in the comments below as soon as possible. If you've learned something, do me a favor and hit the thumbs up button, because it always helps with YouTube. Hit the subscribe button, it's free. And ring the bell for my next video on living on both banks and the Crystal Coast. Check out my book, Live Where You Vacation, on Amazon and Kindle. Be safe and have fun, and I'll see you next week. Thank you so much for watching.